HarperCollins and Harper Audio present Warriors, The Broken Code, The Place of No Stars, by Erin Hunter, performed by Macleod Andrews. Prologue. Squirrelflight flailed her legs frantically as the water of the moon pool surged around her. Ashfur's grip on her scruff was dragging her down, far away from the warmth and light at the surface. The icy water penetrated her pelt. Sodden fur hindered her as she tried to struggle. Her chest ached with her need for air, but she dared not open her jaws. She knew that she was growing weaker. With the last of her ebbing strength, she tried to lash out at Ashfur, but her claws meant nothing except the swirling water. "He's drowning me," she thought, panic gripping her like a massive claw. She'd known that Ashfur was dangerous, even if he wore the pelt of her mate, Bramblestar. But Ashfur had come to the clans to trick her, and when she'd made clear she didn't believe him, he'd decided to make her suffer. Would he kill me, though? Her heart ached at the thought of dying without ever seeing the true Bramblestar again. Her senses were spiraling into darkness when she felt herself thump down onto a hard surface. She heard a drip, and looked down to find water slipping from her pelt to drop onto the dry ground. "It isn't wet here. But where?" Her head was beginning to clear, but her shoulder, throat, and cheek were still in pain from her fight with Ashfur beside the moon pool. Exhausted, she lay where she had fallen, her chest heaving as she drew in great gulps of air, which felt like thorns tearing deep inside her. From somewhere above her, a familiar voice meowed, "Welcome to my territory, Squirrelflight." Staggering to her paws, Squirrelflight shook the remaining water out of her fur and looked around. Standing nearby was the muscular form and dark tabby pelt of her mate and clan leader, Bramblestar. His amber eyes were gleaming in triumph. But Squirrelflight knew that this was still Ashfur, the former ThunderClan warrior. He had gone to hunt with StarClan moons ago, but now he had somehow managed to return to the living world by taking over Bramblestar's body. His leadership of ThunderClan had ended in bloodshed and chaos. Renewed guilt and anger flooded through Squirrelflight at the thought that he had done it all for her. "He was always obsessed with me," she thought, "even when he was alive. All of this, taking over Bramblestar's body, making himself leader of ThunderClan, he did it all so that he could have me for himself. I should have known. Oh, I should have known right from the beginning that he wasn't my mate." But now, when she looked at this cat's covetous gaze, Squirrelflight's guilt hardened into disgust and anger. "Ashfur tricked me," she reminded herself, "and that's no cat's fault but his own. He tried to murder my adopted kits when we were clanmates, and even after moons in StarClan he hasn't changed at all. He's an evil cat." The false Bramblestar took a pace toward her. Squirrelflight recoiled, baring her teeth in a threatening snarl. "Stay out of my fur," she warned him. "What is this place? Where have you brought me?" "Can't you guess?" the impostor asked. As he finished speaking, Bramblestar's body slumped to the ground. Squirrelflight watched in horror as a faint mist rose from it, gradually solidifying into the form of a different cat, a tom whose pale gray fur was flecked with darker spots and whose malignant eyes were dark blue. The frosty light of StarClan glimmered at his paws and around his ears. She had known that the impostor was Ashfur, but it still raked icy claws of terror through her pelt, seeing him as he had been when he was alive. "It's good that I'm finally able to be myself with you," he purred. All Squirrelflight wanted was to escape. But how? She spun around, her muscles bunched and ready to flee, but before she could run, she got her first good look at her surroundings. Her body froze as she gazed at the trees that stretched away in every direction. They looked sickly, with drooping leaves, and instead of lush undergrowth, the spaces between them were bare, except for the occasional clump of bracken, brown and brittle. She could not see where the pallid light was coming from. When she looked up, the sky was dark, and there were no stars. Terror seemed to freeze every drop of blood in her body as she realized at last where Ashfur had brought her. "This is the dark forest," she rasped. Squirrelflight had never visited the dark forest in dreams, but she had heard about it from Ivypool.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?